As y'all can see, who I'm here with, you know who I am. I'm DSP. I'm here with Coach Joe, Coach P, aka Coach Punisher, whatever you want to call him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
the coach
man.
of the Spring Valley Tigers. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming on the show, brother. How are you?
I appreciate it, my brother. I appreciate it. I'm good. First off, I want to say congratulations to what you guys are doing, and thank you for all the support and love you gave my kids all through the year, man. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
I like what you guys are doing for the county of Rockland because, as a coach, a lot of people can't see what goes on, and our kids on this side don't really get too much publicity, and it's pretty much based for the Westchester side. But salute to you guys, man. I appreciate everything you guys are doing for this side of the county because a lot of people don't get to see our kids on this side, man.
And the crazy thing is, that's why I started it, because I started paying attention to high school basketball, and I'm looking at certain like publications, certain platforms, and I'm like, they're not really covering our side like that.
Nah, not at all. You got to be a stud,
unless like, not even, because I was gonna say unless it was an exceptional performance, maybe, but not really, because you had two guys that had great performances this year, and it wasn't really spoken about. And I know if it was from the other side, it would have got spoken about.
I'll be honest with you. I went to the awards dinner last night for Section 1, and I'm seeing certain kids get awards, and I'm like, my
Politics.
kids should be in this. Yeah, my kids should be in this. My kid got left off of this, and there's only so much I could do because we're only allowed to put our kids in the hat as high school coaches. The other coaches have to vote for him.
Okay.
So I go and basically say, DSP, here's my ballot. I'm putting X, Y, and Z on. Now I'm leaving it up to schools that I didn't play against. I'm not in the same league as them, and my kids are getting left out. But, I appreciate everything you guys are doing because at least on this side of the bridge, a lot of the schools are starting to see what Spring Valley had to,
right
this year. You know what I mean?
Right. And like I said, just wanting to fill that void and get the names out there, bro. Like, for example, Eric Griffin. That's one person I could bring out right here, right now, based on this discussion we're having.
Yeah.
Like, he did his thing in Ramapo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even then, he wasn't getting no attention.
Yeah.
And then when I seen he came over to Spring Valley playing with Josiah and Anthony, I'm like, oh, okay. This could be a serious trio.
Yeah.
And then he was killing, and he had a triple-double this season. I didn't even see that on the paper anywhere, bro.
Let's be honest, as a coach, and not even as a coach, but a guy that played the game. And let's be honest, like, I know guys I played with all the levels I played, and you don't see too many dudes getting triple doubles. And he's done it like 3 times this year.
See what I'm saying?
So it's like, if you're winning, you start to get all of that notoriety. But if you're not, it's like,
well.
You know what I mean? But for me, it's like, as a coach and being in the thing as a dad, I felt bad for these kids right now because these high school kids, as a high school coach, this portal was killing the game.
Yep.
Because, if you're not familiar with, Rick Pitino's speech, I'm
going familiar,
to the gym to recruit a kid, man. You know what I mean?
You're not.
And it's tough because I think right now, like everybody talks about AAU was a Ponzi scheme. I'm starting to feel like college basketball is getting ready to be the same way.
Bro, college basketball is about to become like sub-level pros, bro.
Yeah.
There's going to be free agency. Like, you hear the schools are getting GMs, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy within itself.
Yep.
The players already have agents in college.
Yep.
It's different. So now, like, for the high school kid who was probably a star in high school trying to get a college, it's going to be tough because, like Pitino said, I need to replace juniors and seniors.
Yeah.
I can't replace that with a freshman.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And he got a point. And I'm like, if he's trying to keep his job, number one, because we saw what happened to Tobin Anderson,
That's
which is
crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, and in order for him to keep the job, he's gonna have to like, yo, I need to get in this portal and see what I can get so I can keep winning.
Yeah. That's why it's kind of like, the team I had, it's my first year, and as the varsity coach, I've been with Spring Valley Basketball, everybody knows, for a long time as a JV coach. But I just think for me this year, I wish my group of guys that's leaving me this year, I wish I had them one more year.
Right.
Because they actually, had some success.
Yes.
And a lot of them are seniors, and this is their first year really having some success and getting some love from across the bridge.
Right.
So I wish I had one more year with them to kind of like sell them a little bit more to colleges. Like, I'm getting a little call, some calls now, bites and whatever, but it's kind of like, hey, Coach Joe, I like this kid right here, but at the end of the day, I'll get back to you because I don't know what kid is going in the portal this week or whatever. So it's tough as a coach. You know what I mean? Like I'm on the phone. I can tell you, like, every day,
right,
for at least 3 to 6 calls a day, and it's kind of like I'm selling them out. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, and it's kind of like, all right, sounds good. Send a video. I'll be back. Let me, I got to talk to coach and check the
I mean, right now they're working overtime right now. So especially with the tournament about to end in like 2-3 weeks, they're going to be in overdrive. So keep the phone lines open because you never know.
No, I'm working them, man. I'm working them. It's, it's the dilemma. It's not a dilemma, but it's
a process
right now. Yeah,
it's a process. It is a process. But let me ask you my first question.
Go ahead.
How does it feel to coach, like be the varsity coach of your old school where you did your thing at? You know what I mean? How does it feel to be the coach, to finally get that varsity spot? Because like you said, you were at JV.
So, it's a dream job that you never think you'll get. You know what I'm saying? And to follow in the steps of a living legend, Mr. Worsley,
right?
It's tough. You know what I mean? And then I give him a lot of respect because, he taught me a lot, when I was doing this, because I've been around with him when I was young and whatever.
Right.
So I've learned a lot. But, I think when it first came and registered in my head, I'll be honest with you, we had a workout and kids, were done. We had a workout and I sent them all home, and I kind of turned the lights off in the gym, and I sat in the gym and I just left the light on with the tiger. And I'm like, wow, this is real.
I'm here now. Right.
Yeah, I'm here. Like, let's make it count, because I went to school there and I was successful with it. We won a sectional title in '96. We played, we balled. So it's kind of like, I got to bring back everything I was taught and that hunger and that toughness that I had played with, but it was like unreal until that first scrimmage against Nyack. And I went in and like, Ethan, Coach Smith gave me a hug and said, congratulations. And, I was like, yo, this is real.
Right.
This is real. But like I tell people, like, if you don't believe in God and all of that stuff, you're crazy, because, God works in mysterious ways. And this is a testament of it right now.
Testament to right there. Right.
I never, be honest with you, DSP, I honestly thought I probably would never get a shot at it. I probably thought I was going to walk away. And I was actually walking away.
When you got the offer?
Well, I was walking away this year because, I was lucky enough to coach at Spring Valley when my oldest son went there.
Right.
And I was like, I'm good. I don't got to, but the younger son is now at Suffern playing JV as an 8th grader. I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to be a dad or am I going to coach? But
coach, right.
When the opportunity presents itself, I had to be like, damn, what do I do? So, but it was definitely unreal in the beginning, man.
I mean, it had to be surreal. Like you said, I mean, you guys won that section in '96. Yeah. You said you had a lot of success. You learned a lot. So for you to come back to the same school in your community and try to bring that same success, it got to be like almost a dream come true. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you guys didn't do bad this year.
No. I was more proud of the kids because there were stipulations about the kids that were not mannered well, we're disrespectful, we do certain, we only run and jump, we don't run plays and all this stuff. So it wasn't a fact of changing the culture, but I had to change people's thoughts of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I said, we the last year the varsity was only won 4 games.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 games, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what we did this year definitely passed what
Right.
they've done in 3 years.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because remember these kids like junior year they went 0 and something.
Yeah.
And the year before that they only won a couple. So for me that was one. But if you know me and see me play, putting the ball in the basket ain't hard.
Right.
I was trying to teach these boys the bigger game of basketball is being good people.
Right.
And I mean, like, the biggest accomplishment I got this year that I hold in my heart is that I've gotten emails, the school's gotten emails from referees saying it's great to coach at Spring Valley. The kids are well mannered, they play hard, there's no disrespect between each other. So for me, it's like, fellas, we don't know who's watching our game.
Right.
And we gonna need some support trying to get into a college or something. And there's somebody in the stands watching us.
Watching. Right.
So our behavior and our demeanor is number one.
Yes.
I said as I coach, if you watch me coach, I never get out of pocket. I
Nope.
never yell at the refs. I never lose
Right.
my mind
Right.
because I realize I'm driving this bus. And if I get off the road, the guys behind me are gonna go crazy.
Right.
Or they're gonna get hurt. So I
Right.
try to stay on course and let them know you're gonna go through bumps, but we got to get past them. Let
Facts.
your game speak for your frustrations.
Facts. 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 That's good to hear. I didn't know they were like contacting you about your players' demeanor. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a great
We've
look.
gotten emails. We've gotten emails to the school, to the athletic directors. We've gotten personal text messages to people, and like I was just like, "Yo, we're going in the right direction, man. We're going in the right direction." I was proud of it.
That's what's up. How many seniors did you have this year?
11.
Oh, so you're
11.
doing like a
11.
total rebuild for the
Yes.
next season.
So, we got the 2 young guys coming back, the 2 freshmen that we had on the team.
Right.
So we'll base it around them. And we got some key pieces coming up from the JV.
From JV.
Yeah, so we should be all right. And I think the biggest thing right now with like this basketball is you're gonna have most of these high school teams got 1 or 2 players that can
Right.
play, but then it's the players you surround them with.
Right. The
How hard are they
others.
gonna play?
Right.
You know what I mean? Are
Yep.
they going to buy into the system? And that's what what high school basketball is all about now.
Right.
Buying into the coach's system, and working together.
And if you continue to have success, it won't be hard to get them to buy into it because they'll be like,
Oh yeah,
he's winning. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we gotta
Like I
listen.
said, and let's be honest. In this day and age, man, these kids are more or less about. I preach the brotherhood at Spring Valley.
Right.
Brotherhood. You got to have his back just like you got your back. You
Right.
know, and they brought into that, and that's big. If they do that, and
Yeah,
I
you
tell
can
them,
see
like,
it. You've seen it in your games. Like
yeah,
when they were playing, you've seen them really locked in, helping each other up, talking each other up, and all that. So I was like, okay, the camaraderie is there. So
yeah,
that's why they were always locked in. Like,
yep.
I mean, I think you guys played New Rochelle twice this year.
Twice,
And
two tough ones.
they didn't beat y'all like
Yeah.
crazy. Y'all were right there. And I'm like, wow, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all definitely like you said, if you had them for one more year, y'all could have
Scary.
made some real noise,
It's
bro.
scary, man. I don't like. So I never complained about like the playoff game, the way the calls went and how many free throws they shot and the foul troubles. I didn't get into that because I preached to the kids. The refs didn't justify this game. We have to
Right.
play just harder,
Right.
So it's things happen for a reason.
True.
God is running this sprint, this marathon, however we want to look at it. And
Right.
I give all praise to him and say thank you because, like I said, I talk to guys, I give example. So I played Rasheen Davis, who coaches at Seton Hall. Was talking with him the other day. He was at Ramapo.
Right.
And we joke all the time. And he says to me, yo, you was the guy that said you would never be a coach because coaches got on your nerves. Look at me now.
And you're the coach getting on people's nerves.
Exactly. So it's stuff like that, man.
Funny.
You know?
That's funny. So, like, you got a real young team coming up next year.
Yep.
Are you going to be doing any type of like off-season work with them or anything like that?
Yeah, we are. We had one workout already.
Okay.
With the younger group, we'll probably get more in tune with it in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
We're trying to find a team camp to go to.
Okay.
We'll play in a summer league, and we'll definitely play in a fall league.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I mean, especially with the young team you have, you want to build that camaraderie and confidence for sure. Yeah. Especially if you want them to buy into the system.
Yeah, and that's what it is. If you look at the teams in the county or whatever, like Tappan Z,
right?
It's like a family niche. If you look at North Rockland, what Coach Jamie's doing over there, and that what he's got going over there in North Rockland, I pray, salute to him because, like, he doesn't have a star,
right?
Every game, the highest score person is probably like 12 points, 11 points.
15, between 12 and 15. Yeah.
Yeah, but they all know their roles.
Right.
And that's what makes North Rockland successful.
Play good basketball. That's all it is. Playing good basketball. Yep.
And the same thing with Suffern. Suffern has their main player in Jake, but everybody knows their roles.
Right.
And that's what it is. Once you get everybody to know, like, he's our scorer, he's our rebounder, defender, and we can make
everybody else just they'll do anything. They'll do whatever it takes to get that possession. You know what I mean? And I think that's what you guys had this year. Like, they knew it was Josiah, Eric, Max going to get them boards no matter what. Yeah. So we got to do what we got to do to make sure we don't leave any holes in the defense. We ain't slacking on offense. So it was good to see, especially Community Day. I thought that was fire.
Yeah, that was real good.
The thing that I found unfortunate about that I didn't see any news outlets out there. I think I was the only one that was out there when it came to media. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is crazy.
That's why I said to you, appreciate all the love you gave,
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
But it's also, like I said, to a point where, like, I realized in this high school basketball world, when they get a bad rep of a team or a school, they kind of like, all right, what are we going there for? What do we got? Like, we would get the publicity and love when we went to the Westchester schools.
Right.
Or we was at a different school. They wouldn't really come too much. But I realized as a coach, we have to promote it more. Coaches have to promote, like, hey, we play today. Let me get somebody in the gym. And I'll be honest with you. When we started league play and we went 2-0 in the league, I started seeing, whoa, Lord's here. This one's here. This one. Okay. We're starting to get
see certain people, right?
We're starting to get it. So, basketball, it's hard because we started out running and then we got kind of knocked down. We hit a couple, bad patches, but we bounced back from it. Look, we haven't been to haven't had a home playoff game in 7 years.
Right.
We got one this year.
Yep.
Yeah. We haven't made it to the quarterfinals, I think, since 2015 when we had Ricky McGill and Kai Mitchell.
Ricky? Yeah.
We haven't made it to the quarterfinals since then, so it was good.
Yeah, that's a 10-year drought.
Yeah.
Ended that.
Yeah.
So, everything looks on the up and up, man. Like, your coaching staff, your wife, correct?
Yes.
How does that work? That must be interesting because that's like that's basketball 24/7 in the household, right?
It's 24/7. I want to, I got. Well, you got to understand. We got the basketball family. The boys both play ball. My daughter started out playing basketball. So I have 4 kids. We have 2 girls and 2 boys. So our daughter started out playing at first, but then when they realized I can't wear nails and all that, they was like, yeah, this ain't for us. So they got out of it.
They're like, I'm good.
Yeah. So
they're like, I'm good.
The boys are still playing. But when it came down to the wife, you got to realize, like, I've coached in a lot of places. I've coached a lot of places across the country. And I've had a lot of assistant coaches and everywhere I've coached. And I used to go to this, I used to go down to Durham to Coach K's,
Mm-hmm.
camps and all that stuff because
Right.
people I knew. So I've learned two things from him, and he was like, he always wanted to put people coaching with him that's gonna tell him no. Don't be a yes
Mm,
man. Tell me no.
right.
Like if I
Right.
say I want to put this one in, what the hell are you doing? No, put him. You know what I mean? No, that's
Right.
not gonna work. So, you would think my film sessions at night was crazy because she like, she'll tell me, no, you lost that game.
Right. 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 Right.
So I had
That's
to
good
realize,
though.
yeah,
That's good though, bro.
yeah.
It
So
keeps you sharp, bro.
yeah. So when I got the job, I'm like, it was like short notice. I had to find somebody, to take the play, be an assistant or whatever. And I was like, something. She knows basketball. She played college basketball. She's always been with me on the sidelines or whatever. And you want somebody
She's
to be your
passionate
assistant.
about it just as much as
Yes.
you are.
Yes. So I was like, if I go to a gunfight, I know she got my back.
Right. Right.
So I said, who else can I trust but my wife? And I said, let's do it. And also, too, it gives this stipulation of like good cop, bad cop, because
Yes.
I'm tough on the kids, but she gives them that, okay, yeah, he's right, but let's see if we can go about it
If
this
we
way.
can fix it, see what we can do
Yeah.
about it. Right.
So
Right. Right. No, that
it,
works.
it
It
works out.
works.
So,
It's like you
it's,
said. It's a family type atmosphere.
yeah. And that's what I try to keep it as. I know people look at it like, wait, he's got his wife on the sideline. This is crazy. And you would
They
think,
have
and
no idea though. When they say
yeah,
that, they don't have any idea. That's what
they
that
don't
is.
realize it's the wife until announcements and they say Coach Parinello and then the Wendy
Man, they're
Parinello.
like,
And
wait,
they know.
what?
Yeah, like wait, no, they're
Right.
brother and sister or something. But you would think something like that, they'll get publicity of it. You know what I mean? Like, we got a husband and wife coaching on this and that. But you know, I give a lot
That
of
is a
respect.
story. That is a
Yeah,
story.
it's a story. But I tell us, I thank her all the time because the amount of hours and time I put into this basketball for years, if she didn't like the game, I'd probably be a single man now. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right. No, that's a fact.
But
That's
yeah,
a fact.
so on my worst days of coaching and stuff like that, she's always got my back, and it was a no brainer.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you said that you didn't want any like yes men,
Yeah,
someone
none of
that'll
those.
tell you no, like, yo, no,
Yeah,
don't do that. That's not gonna work right now.
100%.
That right there within itself is just genius.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's like that's a cheat code within itself. Cause like I'm sure Coach K had people that told him, nah, that's not
yep,
the move right now.
man.
You know what I mean? Same thing with Coach Popovich. They're probably like, nah. And
Yeah,
you've seen the plethora of coaches that came from Coach Pop that went on to do successful shit in the NBA. So it's
yeah,
like
yep.
it's a given. But I don't want to hold you for too long.
Nah,
Is
you
there
good.
anybody
We
you
good.
wanna
We
shout out
good.
right now? Because I ain't got no more questions. This was a great conversation.
You could do it. I know you're a North Rockland guy, so I know you got some North Rockland, some stuff, But nah, you good. I don't got, I'm sitting here watching the game and
Yeah, me too. Me
talking to
too.
you. I wanted to give you love because I had to do one of these the other day. Somebody was asking about it, but my big, I like to support my peoples. People that
Right,
supported
right.
me as I'm coming up, I want to support
Appreciate it.
them too. You know what I
Appreciate
mean?
it. No, I mean you reached out to me and you were like, yo, we gotta do an interview. You know what I mean? Because I know you guys been supporting the kids, showing love. Same thing that you pretty much echoed today.
Yeah,
And when I heard that, I was like, yeah, we definitely got to get them in the off season. Because at the time, I think you guys were right before the playoffs. So I was like, we can't
yeah,
do it now. He's too focused on what the
yeah.
game plan is, the strategy, and all that. So he
No,
doesn't want to do an interview
it was
now.
good, but you know what it was. I had to say, I'm loyal. So if you're loyal to my kids as a coach, I owe it to you.
Right, right, right.
You gave my kids and my team, my whole team, love and all the publicity you've been giving them all season. So I said I owe it to you guys first because I got a couple guys just like the stuff you do from
Right.
Westchester wanted me too, but I was like, I owe it to you guys first because if you look at all the stuff you put down for Josiah, Mac,
Yeah.
and Eric, it's like I owe it to these guys first, man, to
Facts,
talk
facts,
about
facts.
what's going on in Valley.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And
Yes, sir.
we definitely gonna be locked in probably during the summer because you're gonna be at Ferris, right?
I'll be at Ferris, so we're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna be locked in at
I'll
Ferris.
probably have my same team for the high school level in Ferris. I've had a high school team in there for probably the last 4 years.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a nice little summer league. I got to go back and hear it because the dude that runs it, his son is number 12 on New Rochelle, so I gotta hear. Okay. I gotta hear Opie's mouth all summer, But no, it's good. I like it, Ferris, for years because it's not too far, it's not too close,
and it's good comp.
Yes, and our problem on the Spring Valley side sometimes is we have carpooling problem getting kids over. So Ferris is ideal. It's right there, and I love it. And I think this year, they trying to talk to me about putting a men's team in, but we got to see. I want to stick to the high school. I want to really officially be like a high school coach when the kids are playing. I want to sit in the corner and watch,
and just chill and enjoy. Right.
I won't be able to. I'm gonna get out there and la, But it's been great, DSP, man. It's been.
That's what it is, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
And, we'll probably be talking preseason next year.
You let me know. I'm always available, man. You just give me a heads up like you did, and we'll definitely do it. We'll definitely do it.
All right, you already know, brother.
Please keep doing what y'all doing, man. Respect, and we love everything y'all doing, man.
You already know, man.